Is it on? I wasn't looking.
No, keep going. Yeah, go.
Oh, sorry. Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Matthew, Ali, and
Me, Ashley McAllister.
we have another episode of our lovely, lovely podcast, Honest to Pod.
Ba-da-ba.
I don't even know what our song is. It's good though, whatever it is, but I can't remember how it goes.
It's just, to me, like techno rave.
No, I'm doing a different song.
I want to slip an E and go.
It might be something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
It's got a great intro. So I can't even remember it. Oh my God, what's wrong?
I don't think it has a very distinctive tune. If I'm honest, I think it just sounds.
Do you not think so?
I don't think it has a distinctive tune.
I actually think it's quite synonymous now with like Honest to Pod, and I think it's got a great intro, and that drop is wicked.
Yeah, it goes bodo bodo boom. Woo!
Oh, so good. It's actually really good. How was your week?
My week, do you know what I've?
You have had a week. Tell us about your week, bitch.
I don't even know what to say. My week has been like it's been. I don't even know. My week has been started off. Stop laughing.
That's just like a joke, honestly.
Right.
I just want one quiet week, babes.
Right. Well, this week was quiet. Basically, I went to the gym last Monday, and I was there for 5 hours. Did I tell you this? Yeah, last Monday. I was there for 5 hours. Did I tell you this?
You took Monday off for no reason, isn't it?
No, we're off Monday for Labor Day, for the American holiday.
Okay.
So I was out in the gym, did the big routine, 5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah, it was silly, but I was off and I thought, let's either this or go home and eat. So I thought, I've got a wedding in a couple of weeks. I need to fit into that suit because I don't want to buy a new suit, but I'm too big. I'm not even tried on. I need to find the old suits. But anyway, so I hit the gym really heavily, 5 hours, and then for the rest of the week, I was just sore.
You shouldn't be getting sore now that you've been going for so long, right?
Well, I think it's because a lot of there's a workout we did, which is it's very much an ab sort of core workout.
I guess that's difficult unless you do it properly all the time. Like
yeah, and I was just I was just so sore, like for about 3 days.
Abs. The few times that I've done abs, like even like laughing and eating, like you can probably feel it, isn't it? Like
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah. So I did that. I actually went out, and I don't drink that much at the minute, but I actually got really drunk on Friday for work drinks. And I got up really early and babysat my nephews on Saturday. Then hung out with a friend Saturday night, had a Nando's, and then Sunday I literally did nothing. But I started watching Warrior. I started watching Bodyguard. Have you watched Bodyguard?
No, I was thinking about watching that today because do you know when there was loads of ads? I thought they were talking about the film.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, oh, is this like a resurgence of like the film? And then only I think maybe yesterday I saw it was a new show.
Yeah,
I was like, why do you about the Bodyguard now? What's going on?
Yeah, I was thinking, is this because of the Whitney documentary? Have they turned? Because I heard it was a TV show, and I thought they've turned it into a TV show. No, it's
not even related.
Not even related.
That's so bizarre.
I can't even think of a black person in it. Which is another thing. I'm sure there is. None of the main two characters are black.
See them. They're not important to
you. They're holding the camera or something.
Literally. What is that space? I don't know what it is.
Oh no, it's just a guy in a hoodie. No, it's
arrested. It's black.
There is.
The guy is black.
Yeah. But it's really good. It's about terrorism in London.
I think I'll watch it because I want to get into a show again. And I started watching 13 Reasons Why, this second series. You watched the first one?
Mm-hmm.
It was okay, but it's just really hard to get into, and it's not the one. So I need to find a good show.
I have to say, I watched the episodes last night back to back, and it was brilliant. It's got the guy. You don't watch Game of Thrones. Well, it's got Rob Stark from Game of Thrones, Richard Madden or something, and then the other actress I know her face, but I don't know her name. But they're both really brilliant in it. I
think I will have a look.
Oh, you just got turned off there because I mentioned a woman in it. Women can be in TV shows as well.
Huh?
Women can be in TV shows as well,
Women?
Yeah.
Can make TV shows?
They can be in the TV shows as well.
I don't know why they have them on anything on my face. Like, it's really, really upsetting. You can just get a drag queen for that. Same thing.
Just replace it with a man. A man will do a better job.
Yeah, a man in a dress will do a much better job.
Yeah. We joke, obvs. Anyway, tell me about your week. My week was pretty bored to hear.
I had a really good week.
That's good. Right, well...
just trying to think what happened. It was
must
mostly the weekend, I guess.
Must have been brilliant, yeah.
So I think a lot of people know who Adam is, but Adam came over to the house for the first time. So this is the first time that he would have seen my living space.
So for those who don't know who Adam is,
he's my ex-boyfriend, but like the most recent one. Like we broke up I'd say relatively recently. It's probably about 6 months now, so I can't keep going on about it. But came over, we had dinner, so that was really nice. We're trying to spend time with each other. In the same week, I went on a date on Friday, but I was absolutely wankered.
I've seen you drunk, and I have had to manage you drunk, and I know it's not good.
Oh my God, honestly, it was because like I had work drinks. We said we'll meet at 7:30. Then I said like, oh, do you want to meet earlier just because I'm not doing anything? And then he said 7, so I was like, okay, well, it's pretty much the same time. And then we went for drinks after work from 4, and I had like 5 doubles between 4 and 6:30.
Oh dear.
So I got there and I was like, oh my God, I'm so drunk. I'm almost certain, although I can't be sure because I don't remember us leaving each other, but I think I might have went in for a kiss and he turned away,
Well, if you're that drunk, you can't really blame him.
Oh, I don't blame him. Of course not. Absolutely not.
And if you can't remember, it didn't happen.
I just think it's really funny because I just remember it. I don't know. But the date itself was actually really nice. And stupidly enough, he says he's happy to see me again.
Ooh.
Yeah. I said, was I that drunk? He was like, yeah, you're pretty, yeah. And I was like, okay. So when am I going to see you again? And he's like, oh, we can do something this week. And I was like, oh, wicked. So we'll see. I don't know. But
well, it's nice.
Huh?
I was going to say, it's nice to have that like affirmation that you're going on another date. You know, it's the feel.
You never know with the gays though. Unless there's a date put in place. You know this more than anyone.
That's true.
Yeah, and you hate it. If you don't have a date in place, then it might not actually happen. Because he was like, "Oh, why don't we play it by ear over the weekend?" And I was like, "That means nothing's going to happen."
No, I'm not. You know, I'm not to say everybody's the same, but I kind of think if that person is interested in meeting you, they'll set a date. They'll be like, "I am free this date. Let's book it in."
This is what I'm trying to say. But maybe this is where I agree with you, right? Because I was even having this conversation today with someone who is like, he'd be like, oh, I like someone, but he's more than happy not to set a date, message them or anything like that. And I'm like, if I like them, I want to talk to them, and then, because I'm like messaging people on like apps or whatever, they'd be so chill and be like, oh yeah, of course we can see each other. When? I'm not too sure when. Well, do you want to? Because you can say no, right? You can say no, I don't want to, which I'm more than happy with. But what I don't like is this limbo, this middle idea that like, you do want to, but you just don't know when. Explain to me. Oh, I don't know what my week looks like. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay, to a rant. This is not the point of that. Anyway, because it's supposed to be a good story. But I just don't get it. I don't fundamentally get it.
Well, I'll take over because your story's good. But yeah, don't be wishy-washy. Set a fucking date and don't mess with people. Don't be cunts. I said
that was Friday. That day we had rugby. We had the first game of the season.
Ooh, how'd you go?
It started off really, really poorly. And then we were down 29-7. Then we got a comeback, but it came to 29-24. And then we had a disallowed try in the last play of the game.
Oh.
And it was contentious, like whether it should have been disallowed or not. And it's really annoying. Well, not annoying. We did make a change to half time, but Adam, the same Adam, he didn't play the first half. But if he had played the first half, we would have won. As soon as he came on, the game changed. We had a line out suddenly, because unfortunately we had someone who it was their very first time playing hooker. He normally plays prop, and he's been doing a really, really good job. But we put him in hooker because I think we were short. Never thrown in a line out. Never.
And that's tough. That is tough.
It's really, really tough. And with added pressure. And then when you work yourself out of it, like you don't want 1 or 2 bad ones. You just work your way out of it, don't you? Mentally.
Yep.
So, but then Adam came on. Adam's a hooker normally, but he didn't start for just, he wasn't supposed to play originally. And then he came on and it changed the game. We didn't win, which is a shame.
Would you have won if the disallowed try was allowed?
Well, no, we'd have to get the kick. So the try was in the far, far left corner. So we would have been 29-29. And then we'd have to get the kick, but it would be a very difficult kick.
Yeah, it would have been a tough kick.
It was like literally on the edge of the pitch.
Well, what a great way to set up one of our stories.
Oh, that wasn't my story. I'm not finished my weekend yet.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go back then.
Well, this one's quite important.
Okay,
so,
go.
Do you remember I told you about Grace?
Yes. Oh, I seen a picture of Grace.
Yeah, so we went. She came over to my mum's yesterday on Sunday, and obviously I told you that's why we didn't. We went. You let me not record on Sunday. You didn't have a go, so that was great.
It's all right. I'm nice like that.
But cheers, babes. But yeah, we met Grace and we spoke about my dad, and she said she's going to bring some pictures. And now we all want to go to Kenya and Nairobi for not this Christmas because we can't, but next Christmas maybe. We'll probably all my
Oh.
family will go to Kenya. After having a conversation with her, and my mum and her were actually really good friends, and they got on so well. And my mum was really happy to see it. It was just a really nice family moment. And they were speaking about my dad and what happened. I found out what happened to him, how he died. Because remember, I thought there was some crazy story.
Yeah.
But that is not true. So,
Well, the crazy story's not true.
Well, my mum said he was in a prison in New York and he was exiled or some shit like that. That's not true at all. Oh. He just died in home in his bed, but no one knows how he died. It actually happened over a short period of time. It was quite sudden. In fact, she didn't believe that he died when she found out from her sister.
Grace didn't.
Pardon?
You Grace or your mum?
Grace didn't know, yeah. Oh. I know that he died in 1999 in August, and apparently it was all in the news and stuff in Nairobi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was in the news. We found an article on the internet that said it. We also found out that he had a wife in Germany and children there as well. So he had like 3 sets of children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're the youngest of them all. They're about like in their 40s and 50s. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately...
So these are all your half-siblings then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then, yeah, apparently the woman, I can't remember her name now, she died. But they lived here in the UK.
Oh, wow.
From Germany. My brother's going to look in the archive to see if he can find out a bit of information about, like, because you can check birth certificates, death certificates, and stuff like that, and see if we can find information. But it seems like she might have died, which is unfortunate because my mum wanted to see her as well. But it was but overall, it was a really, really nice day. And then we celebrated my little brother's birthday. All of a sudden, because his dad came over, he's like, "Should we get drunk?" We were like, "Yeah." And it was just really nice. You know, it's like family days and stuff. I never really have those.
No, it's good.
Yeah, so it was really sweet.
That's why I was more than happy to let you sit and get drunk and record, because I thought, I want to watch Bodyguard.
I'll get. You had selfish reasons then, bitch. But it was nice. Family's never been I've never had a really massive family like ethos kind of thing. And me personally, I've never held family to a high regard, I'll be completely honest. And I've taken it for granted for 30 odd years. And now I'm suddenly realizing like how important my family is to me, and family are to people in general.
Well, that's nice. What a good weekend.
It was lovely.
Should we get into your talking points?
Yes, please.
Oh. Okay.
I don't even know how it goes.
Woo!
Ooh, I can't do it.
I am so sick. I shouldn't do that. My throat actually hurt.
I was just singing loads. We went out drinking and I sang loads, and now my throat is back to sexy hussy voice.
Oh, I'm going to sneeze at some point as well. I'm sniffling everywhere. Maybe I'm getting a cold. It's not just anyway. So I'll go first this week. I was going to talk about, and you know, I'll keep it short because it is not that relevant really anymore because it's over a week old, and I only found out after it happened. But so Big Brother, and yeah, the whole Roxanne Pallett, Ryan Thomas thing. Did you know about this?
I didn't until you actually told me about it, but no idea.
Yeah, I mean, apparently it was massive, but I don't watch Celebrity Big Brother, so I missed it. But for those who don't watch it or don't know, basically in the Big Brother house, Roxanne Pallett, who used to be on I think Emmerdale, and I think his name was.
You ever watch Emmerdale?
You know what I did back in the day whenever my mum used to watch it, and then when I lived at uni, my housemate Jane used to watch it. She used to watch all the soaps. So I sort of watched it. They're so addictive though. Once you sit and watch one, you're like, what happens next? So you get. I don't watch them now. Do you watch them?
I've never watched Emmerdale. My mum was a Coronation Street, Brookside, and EastEnders lady.
My mum used to watch them all, except EastEnders. But I think EastEnders was my favourite one.
I always thought that Southerners only watched EastEnders. Apparently that was a thing in England. I don't know if that was the same, if there was any correlation to that in Ireland. But
no, I think people who watch soaps just watched all the soaps.
Yeah.
My mum just didn't. She used to watch EastEnders and then she went off it. I don't know why.
It
Maybe
was my favorite.
oh, that was brilliant. Get out my pub.
Yeah. That sounds like the voice that you do for me as well.
He's
Matthew
like,
Alley.
not really, get out my pub. You are Peggy Mitchell. I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
I'm
That
gonna
is
call
so
you.
unnecessary.
I'm gonna call you Peggy from now on.
Shut up.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Peggy,
call you
don't.
Phil Mitchell.
All right, I'll be Phil. Yeah,
That's really
Peggy.
ugly. I know you like Ian Beale. Slimy and greasy.
Anyway, so yeah, so basically what happened was they're in the Big Brother house. He goes up to her, jokingly punches her, like shadow. I think it's called shadow punching, where you don't actually hit them, or if you do hit them, it's like such like you're not punching anybody. You're just making contact, which
Mm.
the intent wasn't to hurt her. It was in the room with other people. It was joking. She laughed it off afterwards. She's like, "Oh, woman beater, ha ha ha. Oh, that hurt." But then she went into the room, which I thought was what I noticed then is she then asked Big Brother to call her into the diary room.
She
So
asked Big Brother.
yeah, she was like in the room folding clothes or something, and she goes, "Oh, that really hurt, Big Brother. Can you call me in the diary room or something like that?" But she basically, so then Big Brother calls her in the diary room, and then she says, "I want to pull the attention to something that just happened." Absolute madness. Then, which I thought was even crazier, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger anyway. She basically tells other people that he actually punched her and like attacked her with malice. And Big Brother issued him a warning. Yeah, like so Big Brother initially review the footage and issue a warning to him to say that you were physical, you can't do this, and which I thought was massively uncalled for because it wasn't obviously once anybody who's watched that footage would see that it wasn't malicious.
Mm.
Then
And she laughed it off.
she laughed it off. She went into the room, and the way she started telling other people, and other people started siding with her, and then he was like denying it, like it wasn't, and he was getting emotionally upset. I think that you can see the footage of him crying in the diary room, like you just want to give him a cuddle.
You think he's hot?
I do think he is. I think he's quite handsome. Yeah.
I think you'd find him hot now that this has happened to him.
So anyway, that's all happening, and it just got me thinking. Which Denise Walsh, I don't know if you know Loose Woman, but Denise Walsh called out on Loose Woman. She said that
Blonde one.
the blonde with the
Short
spiky,
hair.
short blonde hair. She was saying she's been in the Big Brother house. She's worked or known both the people, and she says in the toilet there's no camera, there's a microphone, but often people would go in there and sort of mouth messages to each other in the hope that it wouldn't be seen. But obviously they never got away with it because the microphone picked stuff up. But if that had happened in there where there's no cameras, he would have been ruined.
Mm.
It absolutely just, which is just mental. And even to the point where, and Big Brother automatically took the woman's side, even though the evidence was saying, like the actual video footage was not, that's nothing. But because she complained about it, he was issued a warning.
I didn't know they had a warning. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he was issued a warning.
Because I thought Big Brother had said something differently to Dan.
Yeah, so Dan went in and he was obviously a bit confused because he's hearing one story from one person, one story from another person. Went in and asked Big Brother, and this is Big Brother then said to Dan, "Well, you know, you guys should really ask yourself after we've reviewed the footage why Ryan is still in the house." And he says, "Oh, so she's making it up or whatever." I can't remember what he says, which is what happened. But yeah, Big Brother issued a warning first, which I thought was crazy.
It is weird then that they would
Yeah,
do that.
but they issued a warning to deal with it speedily, but not dealing with it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is obviously, I mean, it's done and dusted, but I think at the talking point moving forward is like she left the house still convinced that she was beaten up. She then reviewed it, realized that, you know, it wasn't. And then, you know, it's not for me to say what happened. She then pulled on her history where she was abused, and she feels that might have intensified the situation. It's not for me to comment on this and that, but I just then got to thinking, well, how many other circumstances have women been in where, you know, let's take a rape, for example, where a girl's agreed to have sex or had sex, but given no verbal cue to say, I don't want to have sex anymore. And then the next day actually regretted it, thinking, well, I didn't really want that to happen. And then build up in her head to say, actually, that's not what I wanted. I was raped.
Oh.
And because the Roxanne Pallett thing's all caught on camera, you can actually see her physically get like overthink it, get into the scenario where she was actually hit. And then when she demonstrates it to somebody else, she just she literally punches this person she punches the man to the point where he actually backs off. It's like
Mm.
that's not what happened. So how many other times? I'm going to say, for example, the Paddy Jackson. Did you follow the Paddy Jackson court case?
No, that was very Irish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very Irish, but it
Because he was
was
doing well. He was doing well for Ireland as well. That's a
yeah,
player.
yeah, brilliant. The girl went back to the party of Paddy Jackson, and I wasn't there, but in my opinion, the evidence would suggest that she was looking to go back to a party. She didn't have any other friends there, from what I remember. She went back to the party by herself with other people she didn't know, and in my opinion, she thought she was being recorded on camera and then decided that she didn't want that footage. Because obviously, if you're having sex with two international rugby players, it's probably going to go a bit viral,
Yeah.
especially in small Ireland where it would be quite big.
Mm.
And then what's to say that the same scenario didn't happen to her, where she thought, well, she might have initially agreed to do stuff and then started to disagree in her head that she didn't want to do it, but didn't make any sort of sign to say. And then all of a sudden, these guys' careers wrecked. It's just madness, the world that we live in at the minute.
This isn't the same, obviously, as the, what's her name?
Roxanne Pallett.
Roxy Pallett thing, because
Roxanne Pallett. Sorry.
Roxanne Pallett, because, well, I don't know if she said yes to being hit then afterwards, or they were talking about fighting in this situation. But it is difficult if she said she wanted to and then changed her mind and didn't say, because initially you would have given some sort of consent.
Mm.
But that same woman on Loose Women was complaining, we're just saying it does discredit the whole Me Too situation, because...
Yeah, it does. I mean, I was going to come on to that as well. I said, obviously, anyone who feels that they have been in a circumstance where they've been physically abused or raped, they need to speak up about it. Obviously, that's, I'm not condoning any sort of action or trying to get a way out for men to do whatever they want and get a window out of it by saying, well, whatever, here's an example of it going wrong. But yeah, it does discredit the whole Me Too action, because there's women out there who have actually been through hell. I'm not saying Roxanne Pallett hasn't, but in this example, she got it wrong, which she fully admits. And you then have to question how many other circumstances, for either legit reasons of actually getting it wrong, how many other times did they get it wrong?
Absolutely. And how do you know? How do you know? Like, I mean, it's because that's like his word against hers kind of thing, isn't it? Can I tell you about an experience that I have or had?
Okay, go for it.
So I have a really big bum. I think we can agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a work Christmas party, and I was in drag, and I had these tight trousers on, and it doesn't just happen there. It happens quite often in many places, actually, where both men and women often feel like it's okay to grab my bum. And it happened a lot, and it happened a lot in particular in this instance. And I couldn't stop thinking, especially at this one party, because I don't know, my bum must have been out all over the place. I was wearing a corset, I don't know. But a whole bunch of women kept on grabbing my bum as I was walking by tables. And I was just like, this wouldn't happen. Like, this wouldn't happen if this had happened to a woman or someone else in that situation.
Yeah.
That would not be okay. And I didn't think it was okay at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't feel completely like violated enough to be like, make a thing about it and stuff like that. Or, I know I've got a big bum, but at what point does it like go over the line in that situation as well,
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't have one rule for one and one rule for... It's crazy.
Because alcohol messes everything up as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how many times have you been out and woke up next to somebody and be like, oh, God.
I'm sure I was spiked that time, though. I'm absolutely certain of it. 100% certain.
Are you talking about the time with...
Oh, of course, you were there. That was a complete 180, was it not? And it happened to other people.
Because you were like, that was such a funny night. Because he was hitting on me, and I was like, oh, God. And you're like, keep away from him.
I was sticking up for you.
I know.
You didn't look after me, bitch. I'm going to just tell you this now. You did not look after me.
I probably pushed you towards him to get away from him.
Do you know what I mean? Like, as a fucking shield. Boom, I wake up, don't even know where I am.
You go home.
That was you.
That's not me. I think we both left the scenario, went into the other room, and then you decided to go back for more.
No. I get drunk, but that does not happen.
Well, you were drunk that night, but
I was.
oh, you were, yeah.
I was next level drunk, but I don't. That doesn't happen.
No,
All
what
I'm saying.
I'm saying is I didn't push you towards him. Anything you did was on your own, either conscious or subconscious level.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Can you really not hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying that it wasn't me pushing you towards him. That's what I meant. You either did.
You don't remember it, do you?
I wasn't drinking at this time.
Hold on 1 second. You were completely sober?
Yeah, it was when I wasn't drinking.
What happened?
Well, I just I don't remember. I don't remember how you ended up going home with him. I just remember you defending me and being like, "Keep away from him. Like, stop stalking him. Get away." And then we went into the other room, and then you just decided to beeline somewhere. Like, you went somewhere else. We lost you. There's other ones in the other room. It just wasn't me and you. And you must I just assumed you went to the toilet or something, and then I couldn't see, and you had gone home. And then turns out,
I was spiked. Because that never happens. I've always remembered something. I've never just woken up in the morning and not recognized who was next to me. That's never happened to me before. And that's never happened since.
Do you think he's a spiker?
There were 2 other times, 2 other people.
With the same guy?
But not just going home and hooking up with someone, right? Or I was pulling him in the Brewers and then that happened. Because I didn't pull him when I was there. I wouldn't have. I mean, I don't know. I would have been kissing him. And then it would have just gotten somewhere.
Yeah.
All 3 of us.
Well,
don't remember a single thing.
You were generally, like, that's why I found it so strange the next day when you told me, because you were so uninterested.
Like,
to the point of, like, calling him a weirdo, get away, moving us away. Like, I was just
honestly,
I was like, that's why it was the next morning. I was like, I thought you were joking when you told me where you were at. And I was like, no, of course you're not.
I vividly remember waking up and my reaction. The problem is
you did it again. You did it that morning.
That was the bad bit.
Okay, so how much of this can I keep in?
I don't mind that bit. I don't mind.
Yeah. Well,
that bit was my bad. I take the hit on that one.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. Anyway, and that's what I want to talk about with regards to the thing. I just think I hope as much as I do hope the Me Too movement does what it set out to do, and I hope that women step forward and talk about their experiences and report experiences to the police. I also think, and maybe it comes down to checking yourself. Maybe some people just need to rethink the scenario and try not to ruin somebody's life if it might not have happened. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Did you see her interview with Emma Willis?
Oh my God, it was good. Emma Willis, legend.
It was, because she was having none of it.
She was just like, basically she was saying, you fucked up, bitch. That's massively fucked up. You're fucked up. And obviously, Roxanne Pallett needs help. Like, whatever.
Apparently she's got a history of it with people on her TV shows, like fellow actors and stuff.
Yeah.
A history of it.
Yeah, and she needs help.
She do.
But Emma
She's
Willis,
not representative of all women and things like that, though. It's just if there was a way of protecting.
No, of course not. And that's why it's a discredit to the Me Too movement, because whatever she's got going on in her head, she needs to fix. And it's harming other people's legit claims.
This goes on to that next point, though. They're completely related, aren't they?
Which one are we talking about now?
Serena Williams.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Serena Williams. And the other thing I wanted to quickly talk about, which I don't know if you've seen it, but the XXL thing.
This is going on forever, bitch. Also, I didn't understand the actual post.
Oh, his post was awful. Like
grammatically, or what was it? Incorrect.
He needs to learn how to punctuate. Like,
I didn't understand it, honestly. When everyone was going about it, I literally didn't understand what it said.
I was trying to read it this morning. It was sent to me this morning, So this is a message. I think it looks like it's posted on Facebook from Mark Ames, who owns XXL, which is a bear night in London,
Pulse nightclub.
Pulse nightclub. So I don't know. Oh, somebody, whoever shared it with me. Right. So basically, he wrote bollocks to all this PC and not letting off steam for fear of upsetting someone. Just so you know, this guy puts no punctuation in this. This is one big stream of thought process or stream of consciousness. Right. Bollocks to all this PC and not letting off steam for fear of upsetting someone. Fact is, it don't make the world a better place. It just allows others to fuck your life up and get away with it. I'm going back to full on CUNT mode. You want to wear heels? Try shoving one up your arse, the other in your mouth. That's two less offensive things in my world. And get this, butch up in XXL or get out. Any other subgroups or individuals, keep the fuck out. XXL is for men who want men. I couldn't give a toss about the rest of the scene or today's so-called community or society. So hard to read without fucking punctuation.
You did really well. Now it makes sense to me. That is outrageous.
It is outrageous. It is. Right. The thing I don't get, if you want to have a dress code that says no heels, have a dress code that says no heels. But you need to make that dress code clear that you don't want people wearing heels in your nightclub. You can't just turn away with somebody because they're wearing heels.
But then should you have that dress code in the first place, because it is discriminatory. I mean, they don't let girls in there anyway. And I know this is not talking about girls, by the way. But that's already discriminating. And it's like straight clubs that don't let guys in without girls.
It's messed up. I think the thing is, I first of all, I disagree with his comment. I think what he said is disgusting. But I think, for example, if a club wants to put a dress code, they're entitled to do that. I think in today's society, that is dangerous to imply that dress code because of where we're at as a society.
That dress code that he's talking about, heels, or a dress code in general?
His dress code in heels.
Okay.
But I also think, and this is not my view, but I can understand why other people think it. I think there is a segment of the LGBT community. Probably it's going to be gay guys who don't identify as effeminate. And they, first of all, don't feel comfortable in other bars. Like, I know of gay people who get put off bars if there's a drag queen on there, just because it doesn't represent them.
Right. Fair enough in some sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's some sort of repressive sense in other ways, personally.
It is what it is. People have their own feelings towards things. In the stream of thought on this, is it too much to ask for a club to just be masculine?
Yes.
Okay, why?
What is masculine? Like, what makes something masculine or men? Okay, and that's rubbish, because most of the men that are in there may look
my god. Yeah, no.
They're some of the biggest queens going. Okay,
definitely.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
So they can have all the muscles they want. They can have all the hair they want, all the belly that they want. All they want you to do is emasculate them, fuck them like crazy. They want to feel submissive to many people, and then we're saying that is not masculine, which is false as well. Okay, you can do all of those things and still be masculine. You also aren't just masculine or feminine.
No, you've both. Like, I
pride myself on the fact that I think that I'm a good blend of everything there is. Okay, and this is probably why I'm getting riled up as well. So I even had this little conversation today because this week, right? Do you remember I told you I got a pedicure?
Yeah.
I went to my friend's.
Was it a manicure? Oh no, you got a pedicure. Yeah.
I got a pedicure, and she asked me if I wanted a clear nail polish on my toenails. And what did I say?
You said yeah.
100% yes.
Yeah. And why not?
I thought my little pretty feet looked beautiful.
Well,
I also started using this thing to stop me biting my fingernails. That's quite shiny, and I thought my nails looked pretty. So I bought myself some clear nail polish, and now I've got beautiful nails because I've got clear nail polish in my hands. My gorgeous little fingers are shining all bright all over the place. And I think I should be able to do that without having to say, I don't know if it emasculates me, but if I decide that I want to be more feminine at this point, if putting nail polish on my fingers and wanting to look after my skin and my feet is a feminine trait, fine. I don't think if I went to XXL, anyone would say that I wasn't also masculine in some ways, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a big guy. I've got muscle, got loads of fat. I'm getting more and more hair every day. Not in a good way.
It's life, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think it's bullshit. I think it's absolute bullshit.
What, the XXL thing?
XXL thing, the idea of masculinity within the gay culture and community and everything like that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I can understand why people would be annoyed that there's not more representation of gay guys who aren't into drag or into nail polish or into whatever.
100%, I agree.
Right.
100% to be, and even that Jack Whitehall thing. Oh, you've got to be super camp and everything to be a gay person on a TV show when that's not true.
No.
And there's more, I'd say, gay characters that aren't camp. I thought like Vinny in, not Vinny, Vince in Will and Grace, for example.
Oh, is that Will's boyfriend?
Will's the one who worked in the police.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he was just a mix. He was a mix, you know. He was just quite an individual character.
Or Tom Hardy's gay character in Rock and Roller. He was.
I haven't seen that. There's a guy that was in Brothers and Sisters, Matthew something.
Oh yeah, the Welsh guy.
Yeah, and he plays. You know, he's not particularly anyway. But yeah, no, I agree with you. But if you do see someone in media, and quite often they can be, or well, not so much nowadays, maybe. But you know, the stereotype was a big old camp. You know.
Yeah, because there is gay people out there that feel the pride flag doesn't represent them because it's so heavily associated with everything camp and pride, and you know, that's not to say that they're less gay. They still like cock, you know. They just don't want to go to a pride event, and they don't want to go into a bar that has a drag queen on every night. They just want to go to a bar where it's local, like for here, for example, like local Irish music or whatever it might be.
And I think that's fair. And it's up to some psychologist in the middle of nowhere to decide, and for their own issues to decide whether it's some sort of latent or repression type situation, or actually, I'm just not into that, which I think is also fair.
Yeah.
If I use you an example.
Yeah, can I just finish my one thought before I lose it? But if I'm the type of person who's going to go out and get offended by somebody else out there wearing heels or wearing nail polish or wearing whatever the fuck, my night doesn't revolve around them. I'm going out for a night out with my friends, going out for whatever I want to do.
I mean, in XXL, in the situation, I mean, there shouldn't be a rant like that. I don't know if someone had said something to him, because that might be a branding issue, right? I don't think there's a problem with having themed nights, you know, clubs that cater to certain types of people. That doesn't really bother me. You know, if you want a camp drag bar, you can do that. If you want this rugged, masculine, I don't have a problem with masculine. I probably went over a bit too much, because I think there is masculinity in the world as well as femininity. It's about accepting it. Then that's fine. I think that's fine. I think but then to completely get rid of it, saying, you know, that's where it gets a bit touchy. So, you know, maybe he's just really pissed off that like suddenly a whole bunch of people aren't going to XXL because there might have been this influx of, you know, people that don't typically go there, for example.
Yeah, and I think going back to the London scene, there's bars and clubs that cater for all sorts of everyone.
For sure.
So I can also then understand why somebody who goes to the same club to interact with people that are similar to them, then they were like, wait a minute, I don't go to your nightclub because I don't want to see that. I'm not saying this is the way to think or an acceptable way to think. I'm just saying I can understand why some people's thought process might go down this way.
It's not acceptable for someone who owns a business and quite a well-known one to say those sort of things.
Totally in the wrong.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we got sidetracked. Do you want to say anything else there?
I was just going to say, and I think this, and you never really, I don't know if you think this, because you always say how masculine you are, and I take the piss out of you, because
I'd never say
believe it.
I'd never say I'm masculine.
You say it. You did say it a lot before.
When?
On any profile that you had, you'd always say you think you're quite masculine. And I was like, you're more camp than me. People do say that I bring out the camp in people. I will say that. But I think some people's ideas of themselves are a bit skewed as well.
I can never recall a time where I've ever described myself as masculine.
Are you joking?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not joking.
No, I can't remember.
I genuinely don't.
I can't remember an exact time, but I remember looking at one of your, I think it was probably like your Scruff profile or something years and years ago, where you said you're a masculine line looking for masculine men.
Yeah, but it might have been whenever I'd never actually been internet or online dating before.
This was years ago. Yeah, it's not recently. And there wasn't such a hoorah about like those sorts of things. But I didn't have a problem with you looking for masculine men. I had an issue with you saying that you were a masculine man.
Why are you trying to mask shame me?
Because it's not true. You and I are the same. And I don't see myself as a masculine man.
I think you're the most masculine man I've ever met.
I think I can be in certain situations. And do you know when you said like some people might want to like, I don't know, in like your hometown or something behave differently than you might in other situations. Personally, I don't believe that it's always a conscious choice. I think people adapt to their surroundings. So
like
if you don't have,
people are different around their work colleagues than they are around their friends. Like
I'm completely different around like the gay people in the rugby club than with my brother and my friends from school. Suddenly, like, I'm the campus loudest, most overtly flamboyant person and that people know in some situations. But I just think that depending on what the situation is, how I'm feeling at that point, it will just come out differently.
Look, it comes down to this. If you're comfortable, you're comfortable. You be you. That's and don't shit on somebody else for being them.
I think that's fair.
Even if somebody fucking irritates you for who they are, that's not your business.
Because you irritate me.
Yeah.
Only because like you'll say it, and then the next second we'll be giggling everywhere. I just remember being like Nando's or something, and I was just like, we couldn't have been the loudest. We could not have been any louder or any more camp or feminine. I don't know what we were speaking about, and it's just hilarious. And then I'll be like,
my general perception of myself, in all honesty, is that I am a mix as well. I also do think you bring out the worst in me.
I bring out the best in you, bitch. I bring out the best in you.
I do remember, and this is an actual quote. Whenever you and I started becoming friendlier, I don't know if you remember my boss, Barbara. She was called Barbara.
What, did I meet her?
I don't know. She met a few of the rugby ones. Like, anyway, she was an amazing woman. She's not dead. She moved to Australia. That's why I'm saying she was. She's also no longer my boss. She's moved on to Australia. She would say, like, I would come in and I'd be like, that, like the head jerk, and I'd be like, well, that. She was like, you've definitely got camper since you've hung out with Matt Ali. And I'm like, do you think? She was like, yes. And I'm like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care. It's obviously just a part of my personality that is either evolved or just grown inside me. Which you fertilize. But
I don't think it's a thing to be proud of. I'm proud of it.
I'm incredibly comfortable with myself.
Okay.
Maybe too much so. You know, I know how fucking awesome I am. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I think you're right. I think if you just own who you are and also accept or allow other people to be themselves, it's just inappropriate when, and even thinking about it, I put a lot of hassle on some of my friends and even the who aren't that feminine, who almost seem to reject self-care, like moisturizing and looking after your skin and watching RuPaul's Drag Race. And I'm like, you must hate yourself. And I know that's not true. And I half believe it in myself that they hate themselves, but also I should also allow this really boring, grey, vanilla gay man with the worst trousers and shoes in the history of the world to just to be you, I guess, isn't it?
Just be you. I also have to say there's all people who are out there who aren't into RuPaul and aren't into moisturizer, and they're actually still ace. Like, they're still great guys.
Not into those.
No, they're not into RuPaul and they're not into moisturizer, they're not into whatever, but they're still.
But I just don't understand. One of the greatest things about being a gay man is that you get to explore all these sorts of things, and to just waste that opportunity to be fabulous, I will never understand.
See, to me, the best thing about being a gay man is men.
Oh, I love men so much. This is why I couldn't be like bisexual or like straight. I just don't get it. I love men are so hot.
Men are.
Oh my God, they're so good. Recently, this is so the past like 2 weeks or so, maybe a month, because like breaking up with someone, and I guess you won't be there yet. But now it's coming to this point where everyone's just hot. I'm having these conversations, and I'm just like, oh my God, men are so attractive. They're so attractive, and they're talking to me. Oh my God. Mind, I couldn't. Women just blah, blah.
Even like I read on Instagram, somebody posted it that apparently the inside of your cheek, skin on the inside of your cheek.
I thought you were about to say vagina. Oh my God, I was about to be like.
No, wait for it. The skin on the inside of your cheek feels the same as the skin on the inside of the vagina, and I was like, ooh. Because I was licking, and I was like, you're reading something, you're like the skin, and then there's a little space. Your instinct, and you put your tongue out, you're like, and then I was like, and then read down, I was like, same as vagina. I was like,
And you just had fish for lunch. Damn you, tuna.
Oh, I had the nicest tuna today. It was nice.
Out of a tin?
Yeah, it was out of tin tuna.
How can it be the nicest tuna out of a tin?
Well, it's because you add, like, I put it on the little thing, the little gluten-free cracker, and I added some garlic, and I added some chili, and I was like, tuna. It was good.
That would have been awful.
No, it was nice. It was really good.
Gluten-free cracker as well, you know.
No, don't. I bought a gluten-free magazine today. My first ever gluten-free magazine.
You don't eat magazines, bitch.
I'm on the
diet. They've got me a CrossFit. It's something else.
It's on the CrossFit diet. You just eat paper.
Just paper.
Yeah. And then when you feel like you're about to pass out, you have a protein shake.
Okay, it's good. It sounds good.
Healthy. Anyway, we need to crack on. This is going to be. Do you know what? This is I'm not going to end. This is going to be over our time limit.
I think we should leave it at this. I'll be honest. We've been talking for an hour.
Well, we'll keep it quick.
All right, we can talk about it. It's cool. So, Serena Williams was in the US Open final with Naomi.
Come on, what's her last name?
Oh my God.
Osaka.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say it wrong. And there was a big old issue because she had conceded some penalties, 3 in particular. She was having issues with the umpire. And
yeah.
She had basically said that she got a penalty for ways that she was speaking to him. She called him a thief and a liar. Because he took a point from her, a game, in fact, not a point, a game, and he called her these names, and then he gave her a penalty, and then she started saying, "If I was a man, this wouldn't have happened."
Yeah. So it all started off with the umpire thinking that her coach was giving her signals, which is illegal.
Yeah, so you can't coach her in the game; it's just the player on their own. And apparently he gave her a thumbs up, and he thought, that this was coaching. Serena Williams said, no, I've never received coaching. She said, I'd rather lose than cheat. I've never had to.
I don't cheat to win. I'd rather lose. That's what she said. Yeah, which is great.
Which is also interesting. The coach afterwards said
he did give her coaching. But
that's what he said.
Yeah, he did. He was like,
yeah, exactly.
But then I don't think she's seen it. I was like, mate, what the fuck?
I mean, well, he's saying it was my intention to, and she was saying I didn't receive that intention.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
So she then went up to the umpire to say that I don't cheat. That's not how I do things. That wasn't whatever it was. And then she just started playing badly, and she lost her temper, and she cracked her racket, which then costed her a point. But yeah, she then called him a thief for stealing away the game, and that was classed as verbal abuse, and she lost the game for it. And then, she just lost the whole thing. And it's one thing that's really sad to me is Naomi Osaka. I don't know if you followed up afterwards when they gave out the awards. She was booed while she was getting her award.
I don't think she was booed. I think
the scenario was booed.
Yeah, and it's so sad.
And she was saying how she's really sorry because she knows everyone was cheering for Serena, and that she's sorry that it ended like that. It's like, bitch, you won. You should be smiling. She's in her, she's 20, the first Grand Slam win, the first Japanese Grand Slam winner. Like,
but this is also her dream. Her actual dream was to face Serena Williams in the US Open final.
Yeah,
but you can't say that. I don't know. That's a lot of emotions. You can't say that. Oh, she should just be happy.
No. I'm saying she deserves to be happy.
Yes,
she won, and it was taken away. And even the aftermath isn't about her winning; it's about this whole drama.
So I read a couple of things, and what is really interesting is women who write articles side with Serena. Men who write articles, don't.
How do you
like everything, I flip-flop. I don't really have an opinion about what she said was right or wrong, and I most certainly don't know enough about tennis.
Right. Well, I did some research, and I also gathered that my opinion, again, I don't know. Yesterday, when I first seen it, and I didn't know anything really about it, I thought it was a bit stupid that she brought sex into it. Like,
Immediately.
yeah.
Immediately.
I was like, how's it got anything to do with sex?
I think tennis for women is more prolific than other sports for women. And I think that women can live off of their earnings from tennis, but they're not treated the same as men. I think that if you look at it in relation to when men's football and women's football,
Yeah,
men's
yeah.
basketball, women's basketball, women have more opportunities if it's relative, but I still think the men are treated differently to women.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that, for example, women's games in tennis are shorter. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean like recently there was another woman who changed her shirt.
No.
Okay, so there's another tennis player recently at the US Open, and her name is Alize Cornet,
Mm-hmm.
and she had an issue where her top was on backwards. So she took it off to put it on straight. She was given a fine, a sanction on the court for taking her top off. When she had a sports bra on, it was really big, like a sports bra, and she needs to change her top because it was on backwards. Men take off their top all the time.
Yeah, okay.
All of the time. Serena Williams got a lot of issues about the catsuit that she'd worn.
Did she?
Yeah, so they banned catsuits in the French Open because she wore this suit after her pregnancy to help prevent blood clots. And
yeah, I remember hearing that.
yeah, so I don't think that's correct. And the way that women have to dress, so they have to wear skirts in Wimbledon. They now make more money, but they still make less money than men. So it wasn't so much the number of sets, because I think it's got to do. Sports is one. We spoke about sports and men and women. It's one of the only things where men do have a physical advantage, just because of the nature of this human species.
Yeah, but if a man's playing a longer game, surely his prize should be longer. Like, he's literally doing more work for more money.
It's no less entertaining. And is it? I don't know if it's if the difference in time spent on court is the same difference in money gained.
In this instance, once I did some research, there's certain things. For example, the umpire is apparently well known, but some people say that he had beef by being spoken to by a woman in the manner that he was, and that is what caused him to be harsher on Serena Williams. The interview I watched, there was a male tennis player, I can't remember his name, but he spoke out and said, "I've said a lot worse," and nothing. No, it wasn't him. Oh. But I did hear about him as well, because he's quite blah blah blah.
He's very outspoken, yeah.
Yeah, but this other one was like, "I've said a lot worse, and I was never sanctioned or punished for it." So in this instance, I think, first of all, Naomi needs to get the credit that she deserves.
100%.
Yeah. Just her speech was so sad. But I think I don't know. I think I haven't done a bit more research about it and seen a few other people's professionals' opinions on it. It seems like she was treated differently than what a man would have been.
Just she wasn't given the same allowances, and maybe he did feel like she was being...
Yeah, somebody said the man would probably have got a warning, and she didn't get a warning.
But he also didn't break the rules. She did push it too far. My opinion is, from seeing it, she did push it too far. Because just when she's sitting there and saying, "You owe me an apology, you owe me an apology," she sat there, had a sip of a drink. "When are you going to apologize to me?" And she was kind of relentless. Once the point had gone, she needed to let it go for her to be able to continue. Because what she did is she took away Naomi's opportunity to actually enjoy and celebrate. Yeah. Because it's all going to be about Serena and how she broke down and how she lost the match as opposed to Naomi winning it.
Yeah.
But I also have this understanding that I feel like Serena Williams in general is treated differently than, most tennis players. She gets judged because of her body, because of her looks, because of her race. And in those instances, I guess if you constantly feel like she snapped to it far too quickly. If she didn't say it was a sexist issue, then I think it would have been more understood, because she jumped so quickly to, because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
That is where it could. She could have said, "You owe me a point." She could have said, "Other people speak to you this way." She could have said all of those things without, because I'm a woman.
I mean, the other thing I was just thinking as well, this is why I find it so hard, because I'm probably going to go back on myself from what I said earlier on, is just because, I don't think a good argument in any case is, I can do this even though it's wrong because other people do it and get away with it. don't do something wrong. Just don't do it.
You're right in what you're saying, but like football players and top level athletes, elite
Mm.
athletes, because people know that that's where the revenue comes from. If you think about the sport, but not just the sport as a game, but as a business, people come to see Serena Williams. People come to see Neymar playing football. People come to see this guy called LeBron James. And so because people have come to see them, they aren't as strict with their fines because this is what people have come to see, not the officiating. They've come to see these celebrities and these superstars and these people who are excellent. And yeah, fair enough, they shouldn't. But then that's a systemic problem where the culture would need to change, and tennis and other sports shouldn't allow superstars to push the boundaries,
Mm.
I remember her comment when she says, "You will never umpire a game of mine ever in your life again."
Yeah.
I felt like that came from a place of
Arrogance.
arrogance, complete arrogance, yeah.
Yeah.
And she knows it. She knows, they'd see her, not him, which is fair, but it doesn't mean that she should be able to speak to him and say that. And she will have control. The thing is, she will have control in that.
Yeah, it also comes down to respect. And I think what was pointed like the hurling game I was at last week, which I have to make a correction. Apparently it's not called a mallet. Apparently it's called a hurley stick.
A what?
Hurley stick. I think I probably said it wrong again. I'll probably get another message tomorrow.
A hurley stick.
Yeah, but yeah, I called it a mallet last week. But when I was watching hurling last week, one of the guys who played hurling, my friend who was playing, his dad was there. And he was saying to me what he thinks is amazing is how much respect in rugby people have for the ref. He says it just puts the sport on another level. And if in rugby somebody had spoken to the ref the way Serena Williams has spoken to the umpire, they would have been sent off.
And they're questioning that in sport at the moment. They're trialing in some lower levels about referees being firmer with players to see whether it's worthwhile. So that there's actually this feeling that that's being lost, and it's still more respectful than these sports.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
We don't. You speak to a ref on the pitch in rugby on the field. It's sir, or
but you can't go and bark at them all the time.
You don't. You just get you literally you get a look and you get a finger. And you just know the ref's made his mind up. Let's get on with the game. And there's no amount of bitching or crying or mallet breaking is going to change the ref's mind.
But what's great is they feel like they might be losing some sort of control, even though it's more respectful than other sports. So they're seeing at ways they can support the referees and not the superstar players. And that doesn't happen in other sports. Football referees are the worst, are known as being some of the worst referees in sport, but they don't have the support of anyone.
No.
Because they know that the top players are there making all the money. So how can they do their job when they have no support? If a top-level referee, or even not a top-level referee, a medium-level or low-level referee in football gave someone a red card for the way that they touched the referee, they would be criticised for it, not the player.
Oh, yeah, and you can just imagine the fans of a football just coming after the referee, because if they send off a really good player for being arrogant and being a dick.
But they touch them. They push the referee in football.
Yeah, no, that would never happen.
And in this situation, just from my own experience of watching it, and I remember watching it, and I probably took too many articles in, because Serena Williams is someone that I'm quite interested in, because I know that she's had a history of, she's had a tough time, and her beauty is always in question, which is unnecessary, because that's why there's been this rift between her and Maria Sharapova, when, Maria Sharapova's the highest earning female tennis player, not because of her sport acumen, but because of the way she looks. Which is true. And that thing you posted on Twitter, which I cannot remember who it was by, but I thought was the most horrendous thing.
I got my phone up here to get it.
Oh my God. But she's had a hard time because, she's not, because, she is an incredibly physical force.
It's the illustration was by Mark Knight, whose Twitter handle is @KnightCartoons. Knight spelled.
But it was for the Herald Sun, which is an Australian paper, and obviously the Australians are known for still living in a backwards, repressed, still quite racist era.
Yeah, I mean it's just a disgusting disgusting display of.
I think racism. The picture that they drew, I thought was disgusting.
It is
absolutely disgusting.
And I don't know if you noticed as well, but they also illustrate the other tennis player, Naomi Osaka,
as a white blonde woman.
White blonde woman, and she's Japanese with I think Japanese Haitian. What I mean, what? And this she is blonde, blonde, but, and white.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because I think that because maybe Serena Williams has dealt with so much in her career that she might have jumped the gun on this one. And it's kind of similar, not to the same extent, obviously, as the issue we were talking about earlier on, but she was just a bit too headstrong on the, is it because I'm a woman? When actually there have been examples. I heard about one this year where Novak Djokovic had smashed his racket in Wimbledon and was also given the same fine. I
Yeah.
keep saying fine, but it's not fine. It's called it begins with a C. Issued with the same penalty though. He was issued with the same penalty as she was for doing the exact same thing. And he's,
But she got fined as well. She got fined $17,000.
And she was fined and even supported by the tennis association because the umpire did not do anything wrong.
No.
And she was wrong with her reaction.
The $17,000 is coming out for $1.8 million second place prize.
I can't believe that Naomi won like $3.79 million and all she could do was cry. And I was like, oh my God, imagine your first big win, 3.79 million, and
you're crying.
You're crying because of the booing situation. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I saw some interviews of her and she's quite like timid and, reserved, as a person. So I think that was like her natural demeanor,
I just think it's sad that she apologized. She
didn't need to do that.
I feel sad that she felt she had to do that. She shouldn't have had to be put in that situation. She should have been able to enjoy her win without all this other stuff. Let's wrap us up.
For sure.
Yeah. You got a little brush there in your hands. What are you going to do?
Oh, what?
You got a little brush hair?
No, it's my microphone.
Oh, I thought it was a brush. I thought you were literally getting ready to brush your hair. As soon as the camera goes off, you're going to be like...
I'm just waiting, ready to go. I would do it during it, to be honest.
Yeah, you probably would, to be fair.
Yeah, it feels nice.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, make sure you go leave comments on things. Go subscribe. Go... Please leave us reviews on Apple iTunes because it puts us up the rankings. If you were going to do anything, your one good deed for September, please give us a rating and a little review and we'll read it out. We've not had one in about 3 weeks, a month nearly.
We've been a bit rubbish with the podcast.
We have been pretty bad. But we're back now. This will be back on track 2 in 2 weeks, which is good for us given our track history of whatever. But yeah, please leave reviews and comments, and if you disagree or agree or whatever in anything we've said, we'd love to know about it. Go over to our Instagram, which is honestpod, which is honest_to_pod, or our Twitter is the exact same podcast or exact same handle, or follow Matt on Instagram, which is
all teeth and chips.
All teeth and chips.
Yeah.
Underscore between each word. Yeah. Or follow me, which is ASHMCA, Ashmaka. But yeah, thanks for joining this week and have a good week, everyone.
Have a lovely week. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't know. I need to learn this song.
Diddle-doo. No, it's not that. What is it?
I don't know what that was.
That was the old Nokia tune. It's in my head, but I can't get it out. Do. No, that's wrong, totally as well.
Okay, bye.
Bye.